There are few traditions in American sports as enduring as college football, and here in Bethlehem, the program at Lehigh University stands among the nation's oldest. Dating back to 1884, Lehigh football has built a legacy of more than 1,400 games, a program ranked among the top in total victories, and defined by one of the fiercest rivalries in the sport, the annual clash with Lafayette College. But like any long story, there are chapters of triumph, and chapters that test the very soul of a program. By the early 1960s, Lehigh, then known as the Engineers, had fallen on hard times. Winning seasons were rare, confidence was scarce, and in some years, even a single victory proved elusive. The proud program had lost its footing, and with each passing season, the question grew louder. Could Lehigh football ever rise again? In 1965, the university made a bold and uncertain choice. They handed the program to a young, relatively inexperienced coach, a man named Fred Dunlap. There were no guarantees, no immediate signs of success, just a long climb ahead, and the early results were difficult. From 1965 through 1970, Dunlap's teams struggled mightily, posting a record of 13 wins against 43 losses and a single tie. But something was happening beneath the surface. A culture was forming, a foundation was being laid, and slowly, quietly, things began to change. Then came 1971. Lehigh went 7-3. It wasn't just a winning season, it was a statement. The Engineers had found their identity again. By 1973, they improved further, finishing 7-4-1 and earning a spot in the NCAA Division II tournament. And in 1975, Dunlap's final season at Lehigh, the team reached new heights, a 9-3 record and another postseason appearance. In just a few short years, the program had been transformed, from struggling to competitive to a legitimate power. Dunlap's impact extended beyond the scoreboard. He developed players who would go on to succeed at the highest level. John Hill, an All-American center, would start in the NFL for both the New Orleans Saints and the New York Giants. Kim McQuilkin, another All-American, would spend 6 seasons with the Atlanta Falcons. And running back Jack Rizzo delivered one of the most remarkable performances in rivalry history, rushing for 313 yards in a single game against Lafayette. But perhaps most telling, in 11 seasons under Dunlap, Lehigh won 8 of 11 games against their arch-rival. Even in the lean years, he found ways to win the games that mattered most. Fred Dunlap left Lehigh after the 1975 season, returning to coach at his alma mater. But the program he rebuilt did not fade. In fact, it continued to grow. Just 2 years later, in 1977, Lehigh captured a national championship, a triumph made possible by the foundation Dunlap had laid. In time, the Patriot League, a conference Dunlap helped shape, would name its championship trophy in his honor. A fitting tribute. To a man who took a struggling program and gave it something far more valuable than wins, he gave it belief. In the long history of Lehigh football, there have been championships, great players, and unforgettable games. But sometimes, the most important figures are not those who stand at the peak, but those who guide a program out of the valley. Fred Dunlap was one of those men. And because of him, the story of Lehigh football didn't just continue. It turned.